Let me start with some questions to you. First of all, why are you here today? I assume because you want to be successful or more successful. Or do you know someone who doesn't want to be successful listening to TED Talks? Next question. What makes companies successful? If you can't think of anything spontaneously, you will probably Google it, like I did. So I Googled what makes companies successful these days. And the answers from Superbrain Google were strategy, positioning, scalability, branding, digital business models, agility, innovation. We've heard it all before, right? So I asked Google one more question. What do I need to be successful? And the answer was attitude, discipline, courage, network, willingness to learn, goals, passion, and problem solving. Okay, that sounds pretty good and actually doable, doesn't it? But maybe you're asking yourself now the question like I did. Then why haven't I been successful for 10 years already? 2 years ago, I was still in a permanent job in a large enterprise. I had still been given the role of managing a large transformation project, and I had all the success factors named by Google, I would say. I had the attitude to lead the project to success. I had the discipline to work hard every day and stay in meetings from morning to night and be back in the first meeting the next morning in time. I had a clear goal because I wanted to be successful and move up the career ladder. And I was passionate about my work. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken my laptop to the bathroom during the meetings because I didn't want to miss out something. And I think this also covers the point of courage. After all, being in a meeting while going to the toilet is not without danger. Of course, I checked twice if camera and microphone are turned off, but there was always the risk that someone calls your name and asks you something. So while I focused on integrating all these factors of being successful, I forgot one thing: my health. Actually, I took care about my physical health a bit because every now and then I stood on the cross trainer during the meetings, of course with the camera turned off. But my mental health, well, that was the mistake, because I took mental health for granted. So I exactly know how excessive stress can affect you physically as well as mentally, and what it means to be in a burnout spiral. Taking mental health for granted was one of my biggest mistakes in life. And it's exactly the mistake that so many people out there and still entire companies make every day. Mental health is more than the absence of mental illness. Mental health means feeling good, happiness, and above all, well-being. Yes, mental health is directly related to your well-being. Imagine you had a rough day. Nothing went the way you hoped. Your proposal for a new project was rejected by your boss. And because someone unfortunately drove into your parked car, you missed your hair appointment after work. How do you think you will get home that day? Do you open the door and shout out with joy, "Hi, honey, I'm there," and give your partner a big loving hug? Probably not. Probably you would unlock the door in silence, let it fall shut behind you, drop your bag, drop your jacket, and sink down on the couch, taking a deep breath. Or, as it would be the case with me, to cry. What I want to make clear to you is that your well-being is directly related on how you're feeling. This influences your way of thinking, and this in turn determines your behavior. What I realized during my experience seeking success was that success at work must not come at the expense of mental health. No money in the world is worth it. No recognition from those around you is worth it, not feeling good and not being mentally healthy. So, if you take away even one thing here today, please remember that sentence. Success at work must not come at the expense of mental health. I made this my guiding principle that I remind myself of in everything I do. And do you know what? I realized that success at work can only come from the foundation of mental health. So we all talk about strategies, innovation, profit, and so on. But nobody talks about mental health in the context with success. Or has anyone ever responded to the question, how can I achieve long-term success by prioritizing your mental health? Has anyone ever told you that you have to take care about your mental health if you want to be successful in the long run? No? Then I will do that now. Your mental health is the key to long-term success in business. And be aware, it can't be taken for granted. Let me briefly explain why mental health is directly related to success. Mental health has been proven to be important, not only for our well-being in daily life, but it also has a direct impact on our productivity, on our creativity, and our performance. So, being mentally healthy means well-being, or being able to feel good. When we feel good, we are more creative, more productive. We can work more concentrated and focus better. And only then we are able to come up with new ideas to create innovation. You all know that moment on vacation, right? You're just basking in the sun, totally relaxed, and then it hits you. It's the aha moment, when you suddenly found the solution for something you've been puzzling over for quite some time. So your brain works much better if you're feeling good. The success factors everybody's talking about are all based on your mental health. So how can we use mental health as a success factor? We must learn to maintain mental health and to improve it. We must take care of our mental health day by day, in private as well as in the work environment. There is no yes or no for mental health. There is no goal that can be achieved. It's a process to work on every day. As we work on our business project on a daily basis in order to move forward, we may learn to work on our mental health. And one of the most effective tools to stay mentally healthy is stress management. If you can use stress effectively and efficiently, you're able to cope better with challenges, withstand and pressure, and you can perform better. In my opinion, we should learn how to manage stress in school. Unfortunately, this is not yet the case. But you can now start working on your stress management. Ask yourself, what does stress actually feels like to me? How do I behave in stressful situations? And what actually stresses me out? Becoming aware of your own stress experience is the first step into the right direction. And I just said, become aware. Another important tool in stress management and for your mental health is being aware. It's mindfulness. And now I want you all to put your hands in front of you, palms facing you. Now take your right hand holding your left hand and bring it a bit closer, just a bit closer to your face. I'm sure you can already see your hand lines and the structure of your palm. Look at it without judging it. Just look at that lines that crisscross from the top to the bottom, from the right to the left, straight curve decorating your palm. And now I want you to bring your palm a bit closer to your eyes, focusing on the lower right corner of your palm. Recognize these structures carefully here. The large lines, as well as the very small and fine structures. It's like a fingerprint, isn't it? Fascinating. And that's just your palm. But the closer we look, the more clearly we see the specialness, the beauty, and individuality. And that's mindfulness. Discovering beauty in very small, supposedly trivial things. And this could be your hand, but this could also be your keyboard at your desk whose clicking you listen to carefully while writing your next mail. I want you to try that out. This helps you getting back in the moment. Exactly what we need in such a hectic world where many are complaining about past meetings or planned future projects. Mental health is now, here and now. In order to make use of the success factors of mental health, we must not only become more mindful with ourselves, our fellow human beings, and the work we do, we must also initiate changes in the way we work and the world in which we work. So we now know that success requires mental health as its foundation. For creativity, productivity, and focus, it takes well-being. It is therefore time for our corporate cultures to become more modern. And by this, I don't just mean flexible working hours, remote work, and new work approaches. Above all, the culture must become more open. And this also means that it's time to finally end the stigmatization of mental health in our working world. Everybody has stress. There are numbers of burnouts and countless people suffering from depression. Why don't we talk about it? Why do we try to hide things like this? Why do we play it down? Honestly, you can't expect to be a millionaire if you don't dare look at your bank account. That's the same thing. We have to deal with it. We have to change perspective from time to time. And we have to reevaluate our supposed success factors. I'm sure if mental health would have been recognized as a success factor in companies earlier, many companies would have become successful much faster. But we prefer to look at strategies, to focus on profit and numbers, and neglect the real foundation of our success, our people. Businesses are driven by people. It's humanity that is lacking in our business world, and because of that, so many struggle with mental issues. But we must always keep in mind that it's the people in a company who drive innovation, who create value, and support growth. It's you. And I also want to bring in here the term of sustainability. Everybody's talking about it, don't they? But let me tell you, sustainability needs innovation. Innovation requires ideas. Ideas require creativity. Creativity requires well-being, and well-being requires mental health. So when we prioritize mental health, we pave the way to long-term success, to sustainable success. It becomes the foundation for innovation, digitalization, and challenging and thriving in a challenging business world. And I challenge you to remember that sustainable success is not just about latest trends or strategies. It's also about the well-being of the people who drive these strategies. It's about your mental health. So, less stress, more success. Thank you.